Okay, overtaking. Let's talk about it. Overtaking is quite a big subject. I've taken a few examples of passing here, and I'm going to talk about some of the thought processes I go through when I'm passing these individual riders. One of the first things I realise when I'm approaching slower riders is my actual closure speed. If I close rapidly, like on these two riders here, I know that the overtake is going to be fairly swift. The next thing is what point on the track, what feature of the track that I can use which can help me to get past these riders, and what features should you try and hold back a little bit from before actually trying to attempt the pass. Until he runs over the curb and has to back right off the throttle. And as you can tell, the gap now disappears to next to nothing. So I'm right up behind him. I'm now in a situation where I'm reacting to what he's doing. And it's one of the big things when it comes to overtaking people is to not try and react to what they're doing in front of it. Have a plan that what you're going to execute and get on with that plan. Because I've lost that advantage now, as we sort of appear onto the straight, it's basically a drag race, and who's got the fastest bike wins. And as we come out of the straight, there's virtually nothing in it because the bikes are more or less the same at that point. Quite why the first guy stayed in this point, he's zero chance of overtaking the guy in front of him. So my plan here is to just get alongside him. What my worry or concern at this point in time is this chap coming in front of me as we roll up in towards the corner. I'm quite used to at this point in the track, if necessary, actually running on the red and white curb. Not perfect, but that's like a plan B, is if this guy I'm trying to overtake, if he did cut in front of me, I've always got the curb I could potentially run onto should I need to. But the main thing is get alongside him on the brakes. And because I closed up to him into the chicane so quickly, I realised that he probably was going to brake a little bit early. So it's definitely a case of commit and get past the guys as quickly as possible. Now, I ended up running into this corner fairly quickly, and I was hoping that this second guy in front of us was going to keep his momentum up. And unfortunately, he didn't. He backed right off the throttle where I expected to pick the throttle up. And as a consequence, my closure rate became far too quick. So I had to stay off the throttle and run right to the edge of the track where there's plenty of space to be had and effectively recover. We then start to run down to another higher speed chicane. And if I was particularly aggressive at this point, and certainly if I was in a racing scenario, I would just go for this gap here and just get alongside him. However, it is a track day and you have to sort of realise that everybody has to go to work Monday morning. So the idea here is just to sort of play it safe, let him fall in front of me and then run round the outside. And that was the plan, except the plan went slightly askew because on the outside of the track here, there's quite a lot of rolled rubber. The line is a little bit further over to the right here. So at this point in the track, I couldn't actually maintain high enough speed that I wanted to. And as you can see, the overtaking chap here runs out towards us. There's no point in leaning on him. Again, if it was in a race, you just kind of lean on the guy and open the throttle and just go for the gap again. Track day, it's not about that. It's about staying safe. And even though I'm very close to the guy, he's sort of aware that I'm there at this point. I'm quite comfortable being this close to the guy. Just use the track. And again, as you can see, I've run out onto the curb here. I knew he wasn't going to go out that far. So it's all about just maximising the track at this point. I'm on the throttle and maintaining pace with him now, and we're up onto the straight, get a little bit of a slipstream, and we're coming to a really fast kink on the straight. And a lot of people tend to ease back as we run through this fast kink. But again, I knew I could run through the corner without shutting off. He backs off enough for me to actually get past and then run down towards the Adelaide hairpin.